Today we would like to share our views on what is actually a porcelain tile. Sometimes we feel it's a very underestimated interior design surface finish in Australia. It's almost, we shop it as the last item that goes into home, like going to a supermarket, which is, and see that as a construction material. And actually, me and Rita went to Cersaie this year, and I think we really think differently about how the world perceives, I guess, porcelain tiles generally.
Yes, I just need to explain what is Cersaie. Cersaie is actually the biggest porcelain and ceramic fair of the world, which is in Bologna, 1 hour drive away from Milan. It happened nearly the same week of Milan Fashion Week. So Cersaie is actually the fashion week of interior design. It takes 9 hours to just walk around without even stopping. And 90,000, this year, 90,000 people goes there. And it is an industrial show, so it's actually not for moms and dad, not a home show. This 90,000 people, they are architect, designer, major developer all over the world to actually look at what's the trend of porcelain. Because think about what actually covering the space of airport, skyscrapers, shopping center, museum, all this big building, you see what is being covered, actually porcelain tiles.
And actually what we see that emphasize the fact that this is a major interior design show is the collaborations between architects, interior designers, fashion designers with the manufacturers itself. So this is, for example, a collaboration between Andrea Boschetti and Mirage, which is a reflect collection inspired by smoked mirrors. Actually, this won an award this year as the most innovative product. Then we also have Ferruccio Laviani that worked together with Lea Keramici and introduced pigmenti, actually more pastel colors. And just one to finish off, but there are much more, is a Guillermo Mariotto, which is a Venezuelan-Italian fashion designer. And he worked together with the Iris Ceramica group, where he introduced, and he was inspired by fabric, by silk, material that he's very familiar with. And he wanted to basically introduce that to porcelain tiles that we actually perceive as a very hard, cold material. And that looks like a 3D. It has that 3D effect, but it's actually pretty much flat in its sense, which is actually very unique and interesting.
To add on what Anton said, that's why the porcelain itself is so fascinating among the interior design world, because it literally could be anything. It could look like natural stone. It could look like wallpaper. It could look like the wall paint. Yeah, metal, fabric. It's endless of possibility.
Not only in its look, it's so versatile. It's actually also very versatile in applications that we see. It's not just floor and wall. We also see bench tops for kitchen, yeah, with already induction cooktops already integrated. We see vanities, we see furniture. A lot of inspiration actually comes from Salone del Mobile, which happens a bit earlier this year. And there's a big collaboration again between the manufacturers of porcelain tile as well as the manufacturers of furniture. To give you another example here on this image here, you actually see this is a vanity made of floral look porcelain tile. What other material can you use to achieve that effect, to achieve those colors? Nothing. That's the only way to have this kind of a look is by having porcelain tiles. And it is so fascinating, and I think it's so great to see that being used more and more in the interior design. The conclusion for us, it's tiles. It's one of the most permanent materials that goes in any home, in any space, whether it's commercial or not. That is very difficult to change. It's very expensive to change. It covers one of the larger areas, and it can, like I mentioned, can be in any application, in any space. So I think we should really consider this not as a construction material, but a major part of interior design.
To add on what Anton was saying, I think a lot of people think tiles as construction material because how resilient it looks, but if you step back, it's actually not part of the structure. And also because of how tiles actually always, what we being offered is always gray, beige, you know, what we call the 50 shade of gray actually. But it could be colorful as you want to be. Anything is expressed, it's a way to express yourself in the space that you're living, the most delicate place for yourself or any space or to the public as well. It is very crucial part.
So I guess now, I mean, Rita would actually also like to share what we found about actually being to the latest trip in Cersaie, not so much product related, but what we found. And I think one of the things that we found is all the different brands that we saw over there, yeah, they actually are very unique on its own. Here, we also quite often hear, you know, oh, this style is made in Italy, made in Spain, made in China. But they even don't like it. They don't want to be generalized as the whole, yeah? Ferrari is made in Italy, so is Fiat. But with all respect, those two brands are absolutely different.
Or if you're comparing fashion, like Louis Vuittons and Burberry, Hermes, they all work on different trends and different vision, different stuff, very unique, you recognize right away. But they all together were towards the goal, fashion, to express yourself.
Yeah, and I think that's what we should probably stop thinking about, oh, that's made in Italy, but actually wonder what is that brand and what does that brand stand for? Stand for the different products, quality. It's also different quality within different brands, even they are made in Italy or made in China. And also their vision, the vision about the future, their sustainability mission statements. I think it's also very important.
Because you think about who are these 90,000 people that goes there and what kind of project they are doing around the world, how big the responsibility on them, yeah? Like what kind of thing go to building and last for 100, 200 years. And that's why the sustainability, building for the future, is very crucial. It's one of the biggest movement that this year Cersaie they're talking about.
Yeah. And actually, you know, to mention sustainability, I think every single company now understand their responsibility as well. I think we all know that construction industry contributes for 40% of global carbon emissions, and having a percent, it is really becomes a very good alternative solution. Not like what you saw, we could recreate almost every single look that goes into building that has those sustainability, environmental issues. Think about natural stone and marble that is almost depleted and gone, as well as it's generally a very healthy, non-toxic material. We drink from it. We use kaolin clay for cosmetics. And so it's actually a very great product to offer. Another thing that we would like to share is actually maybe a lot of people go to Cersaie as well, and it's from Australia, and maybe their perception is, well, you know, what we see over there doesn't fit the Australian market. But I think this is the biggest BS, because first of all, Australia is a country of immigrants. Yeah, we all have different backgrounds. We cannot be determined because now we live in Australia, that's my taste. And as well as globally international market, I think because become more and more mixed.
And also, I guess is where one of the biggest takeaway for me is they really, when you're on there, you really see the world as one. And there's no such a thing called Western taste or Asian taste or more market, because to them, the world is melting through interior design. You know, you could be, that's why interior design is important, to transport to another culture, to another space. Yeah, so let's say Anton and I, we live and study in Asia and Europe, you know, in South America. So what is, and we all, the world to us is one. You see, what you see is one, yeah?
Yeah, and actually would like to share some images of places that me and Rita been all over the world, and you're gonna be absolutely confused because actually all of those places, they in different places around the world, different countries. However, the designs might be similar. as well as, you know, when you think about, for example, Middle Eastern, New Oriental style, and modern Asian style, that it actually has a lot of influences, become more modern. It has also influences back in Europe or to other places. So it's actually very interesting to see there is no such a thing as a, you know, single country market.
But even
and the
you
product.
you born the origin is one place, but then where you born, where it is doesn't define what it is. It's about where let's say us, like where we travel, where we appreciate, like the accumulation of experience, of taste and appreciation that actually make your own style. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. And well, I think this is the end of the presentation about what we found in Cersaie this year. Hope you enjoyed, and thank you for listening.
Thank you.